Accidents do happen when people hunting out there. Nobody knows where anybody's at. That's why we got this cover.
But somebody hunting right above where you claim you had a stand, how is that being dangerous?
Shot a deer all the way from up there down to that this first pole here. That's 505
How is that different than somebody else sitting there?
What do you mean?
You say I'm being dangerous by being there because you hunt this direction.
Yes.
Somebody sits there. How is that any different?
My brother Lyle, who sits up there, knows that I'm down here. He doesn't know when you're here unless you park your vehicle.
If you notice, if you ever walk down the pole line,
your truck could accidentally get hit somehow.
My boys will show themselves. They'll show themselves, walk them and show themselves where they are, and then walk back to their campers. That's just a sign not to shoot that way. This is the way it is.
And they take off. They leave.
There's lots of people that came in here through the years, and we show ourselves, and then they walk back out.
You show yourself. You show yourself and yell at them and swear at them and tear down parts of their stand.
Well, we never tore down his stand.
Who did?
I do not know.
Well,
we never tore anybody's stands though.
You claim they did.
Where?
You tore.
If he did, he probably assumed that we did because we don't want nobody here, but we did not do it. We do not want to damage anybody's deer stand because we don't want ours to damage. Yeah. It's the respect of sportsmanship.
Oh, really? Okay, I wasn't getting a whole lot of respect to sportsmanship here right from the beginning.
You weren't giving us any respect by throwing our chair off to the side.
The chair that drunk kids sit in ended up in the woods.
Kids, I sit there during deer season. Go sit in there.
All right.
It's nice and comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
Come here. We'll show you something here. It says the Bronson right here.
Yeah, I see it does now.
We'll do right here. Gulbrason.
Okay, I can't read that. That doesn't look like writing to me.
It's writing. It's
yeah.
Black permanent marker.
Yeah, well, that's not visible by any means. But, and then...
the chair is. People sit in their
Lyle comes and tells me that there's a stand down there that he's going to hunt in Monday morning.
There is a stand down there.
Have you seen that stand?
Yes.
It's all rotten. It wouldn't support a single person.
You stand up in there.
You can't. Go. Okay, go do it.
I was just down there.
Let's go see it.
I'm not walking through the water right now.
Come on. You can't do it.
Yes, you can.
It's all collapsed. There's nothing there.
What is it? It's still a stand.
There's no stand there at all. It's rotten. There isn't a single piece of wood there. Okay, there isn't a single piece of wood there that would support a person.
You don't stand on top of it. You sit inside on the ground. It's a ground blind. I was just in it last year.
There's nothing there that could be used. All right. Well, like I said, I mean, I built the stand 3 weeks before season.
I'll tell you what, though. If you're in here ahead of me, I won't come in here.
I don't want to kick you out of your spot. I never wanted to kick you out of your spot.
There's no reason two of us can't be here if you were watching there and I was watching there. I didn't see anything wrong with that.
I would have no problem with that. I offered it that morning.
Here comes this cop knocking on the door. And the cop comes here with no blaze orange on.
Yeah. All I did was because you were yelling and told me that they told... wait, just let me say. Because you were yelling at me and threatening to cut down the stand that night, all I did was call the police. Just let me finish.
We would never do that.
Okay, well, that was your threat. That was the words out of your mouth.
If I would do it, I would do it when you wouldn't know who did it.
Okay.
I would not admit something like that because you would call that we did it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was all a bullshit saying.
Okay, well... How am I supposed to know that?
Well,
somebody pulls up here.
Okay, if it's cut down, you know who did it.
Okay, so
I would never admit something like that.
Yeah, right. Okay,
and I never cut anybody's deer stone ever, but I've go with guys that have.
Yeah.
They've cut the ladders in 1 foot pieces so they can't put it up again.
Yeah.
I've heard about. I've never seen it, but
so coming from my perspective, I show up here to see the ladder gone off my stand. Somebody pulls up, yells at me, tell me we took your ladder down and we're going to cut your stand down tonight. Those are the words. That's what I saw. That's what you told me.
So I call and then call the cops.
Huh?
Why didn't you let it happen then call the cops?
It did happen. Though my ladder's gone.
Well, that was no big deal there.
Oh, well, yeah, no big deal. Yeah.
That was no big deal. You stood on that. I watched you stand on the top of that chair and climb up in there. I saw you. I was right here.
It was not easy.
So,
getting down was even harder.
That shit happened, and then if we do the damage,
it did happen.
It
did happen. So then I called
that's not damage. That's not damage.
That's not damage?
No, that's not damage.
What do you mean it's not damage?
He didn't damage anything.
Dude, my ladder was gone.
Well, that's no big deal. The ladder will do it there. You picked up the same boards.
Yeah. But if I couldn't use it.
If it was gone, they would have thrown it in the fucking swamp someplace. We didn't do that. They just cut it off there. That's all.
Yeah, right. You just threw him in the woods.
As soon as you call cops,
you just threw him in the woods.
There's so much involved, and nobody else understands anything. And that guy was bananas. He's nuts. That cop was just nuts. He went nuts on me. He went nuts on Lyle last night. He was screaming so loud. Lyle's wife come running in the house. We come running outside. What's all the hollering out there? And he says that cop was just shouting at the top of his voice, lungs, screaming at him out there. He had to wake up the neighborhood. And that's and the cop.
Do you know what happened last night?
The peace officer.
Do you know what happened last night? Do you know that I was sitting here with nobody else around? Sitting right here by myself. Oh, actually there was one other kid over there that I talked to, and we agreed, like gentlemen, right away. He said, okay, I'll hunt that way, we'll hunt this way. No problem.
Yeah,
I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here.
I watched
No, I'm sitting right here, and these two guys come down, and then I didn't want to have to deal with them on the ground, so I just walked up into my stand, and Lyle said, I see you going into the woods, and I'm coming up there. Now, what do you think I'm going to do at that point? Am I just going to sit around and wait for somebody to come in and yell at me while they're armed? No. You know what I did? I called the police.
You know, Lyle's not that kind of a person either.
He yelled and swore at me and said, I'm coming up there. You better not be there when I get there.
Oh, I didn't know anything like that.
He did.
I don't know him to be anything like that. He's a nice guy. He's got a good
My truck was parked right there, so he couldn't get up. But I saw you stop right out there.
We didn't come up, did we?
No, but you know what?
There was no reason.
Okay, you had been up here the night before, so a reasonable person would say they're going to come up again. He just threatened to come up again, right? So you know what I did? I called the police again, and that officer drove at high speed all the way from Virginia here because he didn't know what was going to go down. I didn't know what was going to go down. This crazy guy that's been yelling at me every time I come out here is now threatening to come up there, and I better not be there when I get there.
You'll never see any force or injuring anybody from me and my crew.
That's good. That's good to know.
Never, ever. You never ever see any violence from us.
You understand that there's enough of this crazy stuff that goes on.
That cop was going nuts on me. Fuck him! I don't. What the hell? I'm just hunting here. What the hell? Leave me alone.
And he come down here Monday morning, and I wasn't even doing anything wrong. And he pulled me over to fucking give me some shit and ruin my half morning for hunting.
Did you see him tug at my rifle?
He pulled me on the road for no reason. He had
you guys were up here harassing me the night before. That's illegal.
We weren't harassing you. We were telling you this is our hunting property.
You were standing here yelling at me.
He sauced me out there.
Yeah.
For no reason.
For no reason. The night before, you committed a misdemeanor. It's a $300 fine.
I didn't do anything.
You stood here
right here
and yelled at me.
All I said is that this is
Lyle did most of the yelling.
Situation, and we're gonna have to deal with this a different way. And that's where I left it, and we took off. So we didn't have to have.
I tried to. What did I say?
Confrontation.
What did I say?
So we just turned around and left.
Yeah.
We didn't want no fucking bullshit going on.
What did I say before you left? I said, let's come to an agreement. When will your dad be hunting? When will somebody else be hunting here?
I can't tell you when anybody's going to be hunting here because it's
I got to go to where my buddy.
Okay. Then that's an answer. That's an answer.
We're going to be out here. We can't give you a direct time.
Okay.
I can't do any schedule. I don't do any schedule.
No, I understand that.
I was going to say anything to you because you turn things around. There's a cop. That cop turns it around or something, and then get my ass shoot or else they're going to give a citation for some fucking reason. And what for? What for? I don't even know what it's all about.
Apparently. What you did was illegal.
What you did was illegal, maybe.
No, it wasn't actually. Because being public...
You're not an illegal stand-up in the street either, huh?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. Actually, I talked to the conservation officer about it, and it's not.
Oh, okay. I see it in the book here, but
that's not that's talking about state forests.
I just saw it that way. I didn't see it any other way.
I know they're confusing. You gotta see exactly what they're talking about.
You read what I looked for it there, and I read it on the book.
This is the conversation I wish we had on Saturday. Okay. I was looking for this. When you came up, I said, I don't want to kick anybody out of this fuck. Okay, good. Okay, but you have to understand, coming from my point of view, it looked like it.
Well,
it did look like it.
I did what I said. Did I apologize what I say? If I said it, I apologize.
You did apologize now. I totally...
Because I might have been hypered up.
I understand. So, now that I understand that that's not who you are...
I should have just parked here and kept my mouth shut and just hunted you. And you hunted and looking that way then, right?
Yeah, I guess technically I don't think you're even supposed to do that. But, I mean, if somebody's already there, you're not supposed to sit in front of them. But I wouldn't have had a problem with that.
It's not exactly in front.
Well, yeah. No, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. Not at all.
Over there, and all of a sudden I could hear... Here's what it sounds like. It goes, woo, 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 woo. The bullet's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. And then I was on this side, around that ridge over there, and then I heard they hit across the ridge from me. They're shooting, they're shot at the ear here, but they shot high, and then it goes in the trees, they go hitting branches. And